I am Rachel, and today we'll be talking about creating offers that sell itself, or what I define as self-selling offers. And it's really important that you create a great offer because, if your offer sucks, then no matter how much persuasion that's done to it, it wouldn't sell. So it's the first part of the three-part series. The second part will be part two will be about giving you concrete examples of what you can so you can look at it from like a bird's eye view on two niches, which is the health and the relationship niche, because everyone thinks that money is easy to sell. So I will touch on wealth. And the other one would be part three would be on all the add-ons. So like bonuses, guarantees, scarcity, urgency, whatever the case is. So let's start. All right. So creating offers that people want to buy. This is part one. And the first part of the offer for every offer is it must be easy to understand. So you want to keep it super simple with KISS as acronym. So what do people get in return for their money? Everyone must know what they're getting. So are you giving them a six pack? Are you giving them $100 in exchange for 10? Are you giving them, are you treating their diabetes, whatever the case is? Because in all kinds of businesses, like let's say that you're a doctor doing a practice, you're technically also offering something, you're offering your health advice. And you also, as a pharmacist, you're offering medications, and as an entrepreneur, you're offering solutions, which are, to be honest, pretty cool. You're offering solutions to, the different life problems that people have, whether that's like after divorce and then getting back to their own self, starting to love themselves again, then finding a new partner, whether that's like, um fixing their one of their diabetes or their hypertension or their irritable bowel syndrome. I think I saw a coach doing that, and weight loss and the classic fitness stuff. The idea for it to be easy to understand is it gives your prospect clarity because confused minds don't buy. And if they're confused about what you're offering, then their mind will just shut off and they'll be like, okay, never mind, it's too much. And so this is the reason why you want to keep it easy to understand. The next part will be easy to buy. So the idea is to simplify the buying process to ensure minimal steps are required. I've seen like funnels that are probably, 7 to 8 uh lines long. And if you're a great marketer, that's good. That's fine. Because obviously at every point in the funnel you can show how much value you provide. But if you are not one, if you're not a copywriter, if you haven't hired a copywriter, then I would suggest to keep it simple. Really, really simple and easy to buy. Because the more steps you put people through, the more they get turned off. And like I said, unless you're like, a really, really good marketer, then best to keep the funnel really as simple as, just a single one. And this is the case of, for example, like Amazon, it's really, really successful as a company. And it has this easy to buy option, which is buy now for quick payment. And then you type in your card details, or maybe they've got your details already saved, and then boom, your stuff gets bought and delivered straight after. So the next one you want to consider is a highly desirable dream outcome, and you want to know exactly what your prospects, your target audience would want. So you want to do as much research as you can through different things. So I've given a few examples here. Amazon book reviews. For example, you're like a relationship coach. Then you went to all the relationship books on Amazon. You started, going through all of them. If you want, you can read them, and if not, you can read the comments provided by the people who has given 4 or 5 stars and people who has given 1 to 2 stars. I forgot to tell you guys that I'm currently in the middle of a holiday, so my parents are cooking downstairs and my friends just sleeping in the room here. It's like a 2-story kind of house, an Airbnb. So pardon me if it's not as quiet as, on my other videos, but if you feel that you can't really hear what I'm saying, then let me know. I can always redo this video. So going back to the highly desirable dream outcome, you want to look at the 4 and 5 stars to know what do people love about the book and what could you include in your offer, because that's what people want anyway. And then when you look at the 1 to 2 stars, you want to look at, why do people hate these aspects of the book? Like, what do they wish to be included in the book? What do they wish to be taught as well? For example, maybe the book teaches you on, how to get a relationship, but they only told you up to the first date. So then people want to know, okay, I've done my first date with this dream girl or guy that I've met, and how do I move on to the second date? It just feels, a little awkward because the first date's done. They've maybe shared a bit of things, and should I initiate the second date? What should I do on the second date? Things like that. The next thing that you want to do is interview your target audience. So you can do that through, like, I know one coach does it through inviting them on a podcast, and I know a few others who just goes on to offer sort of like free coaching, but not really. So basically, the purpose of that is to interview them to see what they want, and number two would be also, gathering information for yourself, and should the interview also provide value to that person, so that person can give you like a testimonial for, the talk that you guys had together. And the third one would be surveys. I think it's pretty simple. You can just use Google Forms, but there's a lot of other survey websites like SurveyMonkey that you could create your surveys based on. So you want to survey your audience, and there's a list of questions that I could share with you on the next, which is part 2, because I'll be sharing examples, which I'll tell you, what you could survey your audience based on. But surveys are really important. The next one would be YouTube comments. So maybe there's people already teaching this, or like, look at your other so-called competitors, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Can you collaborate with them? Yeah, probably. Can you look at what they're teaching and also find out, like, I guess it's kind of like a SWOT analysis, because you want to differentiate yourself. So as Alex Hormozy has said, you either do more or you do different to others, and therefore that's how you're going to be a bit more successful. So there's also Quora and Reddit. They're pretty much like online forums which everyone shares their thoughts about. There's like random stuff about games, but there's also meaningful stuff about like relationships. People just somehow they go on there and then they say, oh, I've broken up with this guy. Oh, what should I do? I'm like eating ice cream every day, or whatever the case is. It's pretty interesting when you read them. But make sure that you've got a purpose when you scroll them, so that you don't just end up mindlessly scrolling. So the next one would be to increase the perceived value. So what can you add to your offer that's going to let your prospects know that they've gotten a bargain? So obviously in monetary terms, it's easy to state, like if I give you $10 and you give me 100, sorry, if I give you $100 and you give me 10, then that's probably a good value to you, 10 times the value. But you can say this in monetary terms, but how are you going to say this in like, health terms or like relationship terms? So health, it's more of like, let's say that you give me $10 and then I give you $100 worth of something back, and the $100 could be maybe to you, you know, being off your medications would be worth the $100, because let's say that you pay about $150 for medications every year, and then I managed to help you better manage that condition so you don't need those medications anymore, and you've got, better energy, you're able to play with the kids more, you don't feel as sick, then I think that's pretty worth it. And in terms of relationships, when you think of it, is especially this. So it's kind of like divorce lawyers, but not really, or divorce coaches. So obviously, when you go into a marriage, then everything's get tied together, like your assets, your money, everything. And so divorce is really costly, because I think in Australia, but I don't know if other places do the same, but they basically just split everything in half. And so let's say that you're the only breadwinner in your family, or the only one earning the money, you've earned like what, $10 million, and the other person just, stays at home and does nothing, or whatever the case. You just feel that it's really unfair that when you guys divorced, they get 5 million almost immediately without pretty much doing anything in your, in what you think. And so would you pay, say, for example, $5,000 or $10,000 just to prevent this $5 million from going out to someone? I think that's pretty reasonable, because in a way it is relationship, but you've somehow converted it to mean something a lot more, so because to that person, because you've prevented them from a loss. And so the idea is just to make the perceived value so much more than the price that you ask for. And aside from the examples I've given, you can also use bonuses, scarcity, and urgency to tell them, hey, you need to buy now because there's only 10 units, or hey, you need to buy now because the price will be going up in 10 days, things like that. The next one would be to reduce the effort or sacrifice needed for results. I wanted to type that people are inherently lazy, but that's fine. I think it's probably not good for me to judge. So we'll take it that most people prefer a way to get results with minimal or no work. I'm sure that's pretty much agreeable among every one of us. So how can you help them with that? Which is why, there's different kinds of offers. There's the done for you, there's the done with you, and there is the do it yourself. Obviously, done for you means that you don't have to put any effort or sacrifice. So naturally, those will be the ones charged the most. Done with you, you do get some guidance along the way. So you kind of, sit that at like the middle. And then do it yourself is obviously they determine their own results. So you can't really charge too much for that. And because like your program or anything might be really, really effective, but if they don't do it or if they don't take the action, then obviously they're not gonna get any benefits from it. And so basically that's just the three models. But the goal is to reduce effort and sacrifice needed for results. So you can do that through like the bonuses you offer. Maybe just give them some templates for the marketing, whatever that you want to give them. Maybe give them some tips and ideas on the top 42 places to go on a date with your loved one, or the 28 days diet to lose 6 pounds of fat or something. So the idea is you give them all the guidance that they need so that if they took action, they will definitely get results. That's the case of it, especially for done with you. So the next one will be reduce time taken for results. Many people want results fast, and I don't think there's anyone that wants results slow. I think people want to become millionaires super quick. I think people want to, lose weight super quickly. People want to get a date, and I'm not saying get married super quickly, but like basically find someone they love and love them back really quickly. So is there anything you could do to help them get faster results? Maybe that is through, also giving them an exercise program, adding more bonuses. Maybe that is true, giving them like already like a funnel already done for them. So all they have to do is to put on like paid ads, which you have also given the template to them, something like that. So they can immediately press start now, and yes, they start generating results. So it's a bit like, Amazon's buy now, and then they start getting the stock delivered to them. So reduce time taken for the results. So watch out for part 2. I'll give you an example in a relationship niche and in the health niche, and how you're gonna create an offer for one each. And if you like these kind of videos, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you want more tips on living out your best life and also value-driven content, my social media links are on the top right-hand corner of the page. Enjoy and have an amazing day.